right, so we've got the NFC Championship on, and it's not looking so great for the Packers. 49ers are doing pretty well. 34-7. Okay, so down here, I've put my 3500G back on the 3400G back on the board, and this is the cooler that came with us. Quite a bit different than the Athlon cooler, and so I think it will fit in the case height-wise because it's still in the box now, and my hand is just so it's gonna. So that's gonna be up in this grill thing here, so that'll be fine. And so let's lift it out. See what we got. All right. So I'm gonna have to take those plastic things out of the board. And oh yeah, I'll have even a little bit more height because there's this plastic thing there. So let's see, just for the sake of argument, there's the board to contend with, but yeah, should be lots of room. Okay, so I'm gonna get those things off, and then I'll turn this on again. All right, so I got those things off, and you can see there's a little trace of thermal paste where I was lowering this thing down. So it's gonna sit. I think I'm gonna sit with the AMD sign up here. It's going to cover the RAM a bit, but it's still going to cover the RAM a bit either way. And also the CPU power line is the CPU fan power line is up over here. So we'll have the thing come out that end, and that should work. And I also just dropped this thing, so it looks okay. But yeah, let's get it in and hope it works. Oh boy, now I have even more reason to hope this still works. But so these things, make sure that you should like switch sides. You should like attach one on one side and then attach one like kitty corner from it. But instead I went all the way, and then it was like I had to sort of push down on this side to get it to, and then start screwing them in to get them to go all the way. So yeah, you should do bang bang like that, bang 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 bang, something like that. But hopefully this wasn't one of those heat sinks where it's like explicitly saying you must install it this way. So hopefully it'll still work anyway. And I'm also glad again that I didn't get any RAM with Fufra. All right, we're hooked up, so here we go. Oh, gotta find this thingy. There we go. Took a few little jumps to get it. All right. Come on, baby. At least the fan's working. Come on, baby. Got my keyboard. Yay! Woohoo! All right. This has been reset. Dang straight. All right. We are at 50 BIOS like we covered before. All right. Gosh, we got all kinds of fun stuff. Okay. Miscellaneous settings. Can I go into these miscellaneous settings? There we go. Advanced memory settings. Yeah, so let's do up our XMP. Yeah, because I think that's what I got. Let me check. Okay, yeah, 2933 is what I'm supposed to get. So stick that on 2933 and all that stuff on. Huh? What is this? Huh? Okay, I'm hoping that's just weird randomness with the. Okay, so we went to advanced memory settings, we're profile 1. We got, yeah, 2933. All right, so save and exit. Save and exit setup. Config and reset. Yeah, it's running. The MOBA's got a little LED foofra, but that's okay. And, wait, did you just put me back here? It said save and exit. I said save configuration and reset. It just automatically bumped me back here when... That's just automatically what it does when it can't boot. Just make sure our memory has still got the right. Yeah, okay. All right, so I will now. Oh shoot! Should I have installed the M.2 drive? Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think I need to panic, but oh, I probably should have installed that. Let me look at that. Okay, the M.2 is underneath, so it would have been a good idea to install that before, but I think I'll manage. We'll just tip this up a little and get under the. Just tip that on its side, and then we can stick the M.2 in there. So this board came with a little M.2 screw already in the hole here, but in case you didn't have one, this comes with one too, and yeah, this is gonna hold lots of it's gonna hold the operating system and lots of rips and NVMe speed, and I believe this does have a small cache on it, so it's be nice and quick. All right, now should I use this screw or the one that came with the board? I'll use the one that came with the board, because then I'll just keep it in this box. All right, so here's the screw that came with the board, and you push it in the slot there, and then as you screw it back it'll line up. All right, so I think that's in. You leave that sticker on. It says warranty void if removed anyway. And yeah, I'm going to turn this thing back on again and make sure that that it senses all the RAM, not just one of them, and then that it senses that. And then I'll feel fine about actually trying to put it in the case. Okay, yeah, so I can see that the behavior is that it won't, it'll just go to BIOS over and over if there's no disks. So this is like, yeah, reboot and select the proper boot device. So it must have sensed that disk. But just to be sure, we'll Control-Alt-Delete. All right, we'll boot her up again. And I will hit the old delete key to go to the BIOS. And here we are, okay. Peripherals. Set power. Boot option priorities. Boot option number 1, HP SSD EX920 1 terabyte. La la la. And memory. You just tell me how much I got. I want to know that. So if I go to basic, it'll probably say go easy mode here. Memory 16 gigs, goody goody. Radeon Ryzen 5 3400G with Radeon Vega. Roots to the Who, and I got my 2933 and a little more. Oh, CPU fans running along. I don't really have a, I don't have a separate sys fan. The power supply will have a little fan on it or something, but that should. Oh yeah, actually there's that thing. I wonder where that comes in. So I'll figure that out when I'm putting the case together. I tell you one thing though, this is going to be the last time I build a case that doesn't have a build a system that doesn't have a power switch on the power supply, because that's really annoying. I mean, maybe, you know, it just makes it hard to do everything, makes it a little harder to do everything properly, and that's not fun. All right, so I'm figuring this thing out. So this will, imagine, be the sys fan, so it's going to go here. It's only going to use 3 pins though. Now, these things off the power supply I would need if I were adding like hard drives or optical drives, but I'm not going to need them for now, so we'll just set those aside. Oh, but these, all of the case buttons and LEDs. Oh, time to get the motherboard manual. Okay, so it looks like the feature I am not getting is this PWM speed control. So I'm getting the ground, the voltage speed control, and number 3 sense. I suppose that's like a sensor of some kind. Anyway, so that's fine as long as there's some way to control the speed of that guy. Then I think we're good. Okay, yeah, this is the part I always dread: front panel header. Okay, so at least for orientation purposes. Okay, it's that area with all the colors. So the part that that's USB. You can see. Okay, the white area is the USB header, and the colored area is the front panel header, and that makes sense because that's where I was pushing on the 2 red pins to jumpstart it. So that's what we'll do. Kind of interesting that there's a 3-pin power LED out of the case, but my motherboard only has 2 pins for it. But so I guess they thought of that. It splits, and then there's 2, and the triangle is supposed to be positive. Where these come out, there's a really faint triangle. I don't think, yeah, so you can sort of see it there. Yeah. So that's the positive side. So, and positive is on the left coming from here, so that goes on to power LED. Come on, buddy. Yeah, power LED. Don't feel like it's in. I guess it's in. All right. Okay, and then hard drive activity LEDs. HDD, LED, and then the reset switch. Okay, switch. Okay, so I'm going to stop trying to film this persnickety part. Okay, and so I've got the front panel, buttons and lights hooked in. Now this is front panel audio. It's not USB 2. I mean, it's almost the same as that white USB 2, but the pin that's not there is a different pin. So it goes over here. So we put the, just like that. Do you want to slide in? Huh. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. All right, so that's on. And then this is the, I suppose, yeah, it's USB 3. I don't have USB 2 on the front. That's what was confusing me. They didn't put USB 2 on the front. And why would you bother, really? So, okay, so that's just going to snap in here. Easy peasy. Like, why can't they all come like this? This is a nice standard, no jigging around. You just plug it in and off you go. It even says USB 3 right in the place where you put it. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. Okay, so all right, so that's should be nice and snug. So now we have to get all of this into here, and then actually screw the thing in. Okay, I'm not going to win any awards for cable management, but I should be able to get this screwed in and get the lid on. The main power supply to board connector is like right in front of this power supply intake, but that shouldn't be a problem. I'm not running high power stuff on this thing. I'm not running a GPU or yet. So if I did run a GPU, I'd have to get a low profile one, I think, in order to fit in this case with the height constraint. So yeah, let's screw it in and put it together. Okay, and I did the kitty corner thing, and I also had to move these cables out of the way to get at that corner screw. All right, we've got a computer in a case, and a very nice size, I think. And this will, yeah, I just took the peeling off, and this should go nicely on the shelf. Okay, so it's on the shelf, and there's 3 things hooked into it. There's the power, the HDMI, and oh, don't forget the Wi-Fi. And you get this little thing came with the motherboard. Yeah, I wish I could forget the Wi-Fi. Nothing wrong with my Switch as far as I can tell, but the range extender I had just completely stopped working, so I might get a new one, and in the meantime, I gotta go off the building Wi-Fi directly, so, which is fine. It's the only, I mean, the reason I got the range extender was because back in my room, my phone would keep going out of the range of the Wi-Fi, but in this room, it's not too bad. Okay. Oh, you got a lice. Come on, buddy. Oh, I saw an HD activity LED. So it told me here. Oh, I already knew that the HD was working, but it's nice to see the LED. Anything happening? Yeah, my AV setup is not great at detecting resolution changes or let's do a cycle. Oh, okay, there we go. Reboot and select proper boot device. Okay, so the HDMI is hooked up, and yeah, so I'm not gonna go through like installing Windows on this thing. So I think that should be pretty self-explanatory for this crowd. But and I already did a whole bunch of faffing about with installing Windows with the previous build. So see how the football game's going, and leave it at that. Looks like the 49ers won. I'm just gonna take a wild stab here. Yep. Well, congratulations, 49ers. I got Windows installed and all that stuff, but the computer was really noisy. Really noisy. Like, I expected something about the same as my current PC, which you can tell that it's on, but it's like it doesn't bother me. It's not obnoxious. But maybe through some combination of this being, like right up closer to me and the CPU being the following series and being a little faster, um, it was just really, really loud. I had to like put there was like a gigabyte control software I could do to make the fan operate in quiet mode, which was almost tolerable. I also figured out how to downclock the CPU to 3 gigahertz, but I still thought it was kind of loud though. And apparently, I have this video from Hardware on Box to thank for showing me, but they changed what the Wraith Spire cooler was. So in the 2000 series APU that I have, I'm pretty sure I got that. But with this new one, I got this. And without having that, the difference is you lose the copper core that was in the middle. So that's one demerit. And then two demerits because that's like a that's like a 2500 RPM fan or something, and this is like a 3000 RPM fan. So the metal part's not as good, and they made the fan faster to make up for the metal part being not as good. And plus the CPU, yeah, the CPU's a little faster too. So all told, it was just a horrible experience. So I am going to get one of these. This is a not too low profile CPU cooler. Should fit just fine. Oh, I like this. They even brag about how it doesn't crowd out your RAM, and yeah, so it should fit fine. Small form factor cases in each TPC environment. So that's exactly what this is for. Special edition for AM4, so they just have the mounting hardware on that all ready to go, and that's all that it does. So yeah, so that makes me kind of a little bit sad for AMD because that if I had known this, I would have just bought. I would have been much better off buying another 2400G, assuming that it would have had that same old cooler, and I wouldn't have had to go through the ridiculousness with the getting a boot kit to update the BIOS and everything. So anyway, that's where we are. So I guess we'll pick this up again when I get the new cooler.